Uncopyable. How to create an unfair advantage over your competition. Written by Steve Miller. Narrated by Jeff Moon. Introduction. Let me tell you something you already know. Competition is fierce. What keeps you up at night? If your one-word answer is competition, you're right to be worried. Competition is a huge challenge to every industry around the world, and it gets more cutthroat every year as more businesses battle for a slice of the pie. There is a remedy for your sleeplessness, though. Not just a new way to outpace your competition, but a way in which to render the whole notion of competition toothless and irrelevant. It's a fix that's simultaneously blindingly simple and brain-meltingly complex. Ready? You need to be uncopyable. You're stuck in the crazy hamster wheel of positioning your company against your competition. You come up with a product improvement that's clearly better than theirs. Victory! But the next day or the day after that, they come back with an improvement on your improvement. So you put your nose to the grindstone to come up with a new and improved improvement, and they follow up with something just slightly better than yours. Hear that clattering sound? They're on the same kind of hamster wheel you are, and it's a race nobody wins. The problem with the hamster wheel approach is it's based on becoming better than the competition. But you don't want to be better, because better can always be bettered ad infinitum. The only way to climb off of the wheel is by becoming uncopyable, demonstrably, clearly, undoubtedly, measurably, meaningfully uncopyable. You just haven't figured out how that works yet. But many companies have figured it out. Interestingly, none of them achieved their dominant positions in highly competitive marketplaces through unique, demonstrably superior products, but I'm betting you heard of them. Disneyland and Disney World are uncopyable. Disney's theme parks are extremely well-designed amusement parks. There are plenty of other well-designed amusement parks around the world, but Disney doesn't really sell amusement parks. It sells theme parks wrapped in amazing, once-in-a-lifetime experiences. Harley-Davidson is uncopyable. Harley-Davidson sells motorcycles. Its bikes aren't necessarily unique or superior to those of its competitors. But of course, Harley-Davidson doesn't actually sell motorcycles. It sells membership to an exclusive, tightly knit community, almost a tribal experience. The American Girl store is uncopyable, and the American Girl store sells dolls. I'm pretty sure you can find other dolls. Hello, Barbie. But the American Girl store doesn't truly sell dolls. It sells girl power, increased self-esteem, confidence, and sometimes historically based educational experiences girls want to share with their friends. Have these giants achieved their positions with lower prices? That would be a big no. A day pass for Disney World is over $100. An American Girl doll starts at around $150. Hey, it comes with a paperback. And the entry-level Harley will set you back about $7,000. Twice if you want a real hog. So why do people line up waving fistfuls of money every time a new ride or model or character doll is introduced? Each of these companies occupies a unique position in its marketplace, one for which their competitors would gladly sell their firstborn male sons. And each has carefully managed to develop an almost unbreakable relationship with their most highly qualified targets. And they've done all this in highly competitive markets. But these are huge, well-known brands, you might be thinking. I don't have the deep pockets and resources they have to separate our company from the competition. Well, have you heard of these companies? Storlock, Incisive Computing, Sun River Brewing Company, Strictly Bicycles, or Cafe Sintra? No? These are all small businesses, maybe smaller than yours, which have all achieved a highly unique and desirable competitive position in their respective industries. In one manner or other, they're all uncopyable. Take Fabletics. Co-founded by actress Kate Hudson, Fabletics has exploded on the $44 billion activewear scene, reaching $200 million in just 2.5 years. How? Having star credibility is all well and good, but it's the business model Fabletics has built that really makes the difference. By constantly updating its colors, textures, and prints, Fabletics creates whole themed fitness wardrobes. It's fast fashion from design to delivery in 8 weeks. But where the company really breaks the mold is in how it sells. Instead of the typical online retail store that simply offers a line of merchandise, Fabletics sells a monthly subscription. Paying subscribers get discounts. New collections are released the first of every month, but with plenty of incentives offered between cycles to lure shoppers. But if you stop your subscription, you won't be the first to see the latest fashions. You're out of the loop. Fabletics doesn't just sell clothing. It sells membership to the young, fit fashion lifestyle. The opportunity to have a new, up-to-the-minute look, style, and positive self-expression experience every month. The 3 traditional components of competition. For years, business advisors, college professors, and authors have taught us there are 3 basic components to competitive difference. 1. You could have a better product. 2. You could have a better price. Or 3. You could have better service. We could create a competitive strategy based on only 2 of those components, we were told. But it wasn't possible to have all 3. Great product plus low price? Super, but you couldn't afford to deliver awesome service, too. Great product plus awesome service? Fantastic, but you needed to charge a high price to achieve those. What about low price and awesome service? It was rare, but possible. Unfortunately, you'd have to sacrifice great product, maybe via lower quality manufacturing or by using poorer quality materials in order to maintain awesome service. But no matter how you sliced it, 2 out of 3 was the best you could hope for. Do you believe that formula still holds true? Of course you don't. Technology's advances, and in particular the internet and computing power, have effectively erased any chance of creating and producing a unique product. Your products or services are very similar to what your competitors offer, and it's getting harder and harder to differentiate. A 2014 study, Escaping the Commodity Trap by Roland Berger and the International Controller Association, or ICV, shows standardized products are impacting prices and margins, thus threatening companies in all industries. The study states, almost all industries today are struggling with the increasing commoditization of their products and services. This is putting considerable pressure on prices and margins and leads to fiercer competition. And not only the mass market is being affected, even more complex and innovative products are subject to increasingly technical and qualitative standardization. The upshot is that new market players are getting more and more competitive, while established providers are successively becoming interchangeable. The study shows 63% of the companies surveyed are already facing the commoditization of their products and services, yet 54% have yet to take sufficient action to escape. At many companies, there is a significant gap between recognizing the commodity trap and reacting accordingly. Maybe you think you are different from your competition. You just can't understand why your customers and prospects don't see it as clearly as you do, because it seems you're always forced to compete on price, which really hurts your profits because you can't get the margins you'd like to have. Okay, I'll play. Answer this question for me. Why do your customers do business with you? You know what? I already know your answer. Your customers do business with you because you have the best people who deliver the best customer service in your marketplace. I know that's what you're thinking because that's what you're saying on your websites, in your brochures, and in your videos. And that's not good enough, Because your competition is saying the exact same thing. The problem with the phrase customer service is that it's just a buzzy catchphrase that sounds very professional, yet it has no definitive meaning. It's a vague generality. Your definition of customer service might be, and probably is, completely different from what your customers think it is. Yet, you say you deliver great customer service. Every single one of your competitors also claims to deliver great customer service. The guy mowing your yard says he delivers great customer service. Even United Airlines and Comcast say they deliver great customer service. Think about it. What exactly do you mean when you say you deliver great customer service? Do you mean you deliver your products on time? Fantastic! But isn't that what you're supposed to do? If you promise to deliver on a certain date and you do it, what makes it so great? Do you make ordering your product easy? Do you answer the phone quickly? Do you promptly resolve a problem or issue when it comes up? Aren't we supposed to do all that? Shouldn't these things be the expected level of service? When and how did they become competitive advantages? I was recently preparing for a keynote speech at a large automotive aftermarket distributor meeting in Dallas. I took the opportunity to visit with a couple distributors near me in Seattle. In one conversation, the owner was talking about how he wanted his distributorship to be known for its world-class customer service. He cited an example of his wife calling their bank with a question. A human being answered the phone. My wife was amazed. That's what we're going to do. We're going to answer the phone. While I understood his enthusiasm for this groundbreaking idea, I couldn't help but think back to when everybody answered the phone. We had to. There was no other option. Now, as technology develops new and better ways for us to communicate, or to not communicate, this method of communicating with customers has magically gone from yesterday's technology to the new competitive advantage. Amazing. Of course, it's just a matter of time before his competitors copy that too. He and they are trapped on the hamster wheel. How did he get stuck there? And how can he, and you, get off it? The 3 traps. Trap number 1, commoditization. When we talk about commoditization, we're usually talking about the deliverable, the product or service we provide. Most of us stubbornly believe that somehow the product we bring to the table is unique. But of course, that's almost never true. All moms and dads think their children are special. Too many fathers even see their sons or daughters as the next Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, or LeBron James. No, they aren't. As a business person, your deliverable is your kid. And chances are, your view of your product's uniqueness is as skewed as Dad's. This view, that your deliverable is more unique than it is, or it will stay that way, is one of the 3 elements that can push you into what I call the commodity trap. For this fact, blame technology. I've read, we've seen more advancement in our knowledge and technology in the last 20 years than in all of mankind's history to date. My incredibly beautiful, smart, witty 24-year-old daughter Kelly never experienced black Ma Bell hardwired telephones attached to the wall, cars without seatbelts or air conditioners, 3 on the tree, handwritten letters as the norm, not the exception, nightly news from Walter Cronkite or Huntley and Brinkley, no remote, although my dad always said he had a remote. Steve, get your butt off the couch and change that channel. It's time for Candid Camera. Technology's relentless forward march has come with a cost, especially for you, the small business person. It used to be a business could develop a new or vastly improved product and enjoy a competitive advantage for many months, sometimes even years. It wasn't just that patents protected new products. It was because it was just so darn hard to copy them. Today, it's so easy to copy a new and/or improved product that it's difficult, if not impossible, to create and maintain uncopyable products. I played a peripheral role in the launch of the Swiffer WetJet mop back in 2001. It was supposed to be a game changer in the household cleaning category. And it was, for a few weeks. Competitors quickly came out with their own versions of the Swiffer WetJet, and in short order it was no longer unique. If it hadn't been for the marketing intelligence and muscle Procter & Gamble had, who knows whether it would still be around? And how many other new and briefly unique products have been introduced since then, only to be quickly copied? I frequently hear an audience member or consulting client lament, "We created this really great new product, and the damn competition stole it." But they're missing the bigger point. The very idea of developing a new and unique product today, producing it, and having a long-term advantage is laughable. That's the new reality, gang. In today's world, if something can be copied, it will be copied. And you don't want that. You don't want to be copyable. You want to escape the bonds of commoditization. And that requires a new approach, a new way of thinking about competition in your relationship with your customers. Trap number 2, competitive strategy. Let's take a look at industries such as hotels, automobiles, airlines, and even fast food restaurants. Narrow your focus down to the top players in each of those industries. Usually there are around 6. Now, study their strategies. What do you see? Odds are you see a common strategy, a strategic orthodoxy, if you will. The leaders tend to look alike and act alike. Which hotel chain first offered coffee makers in its rooms? Odds are you don't know. I think it was Holiday Inn, but I can't prove it. And how many hotel rooms have coffee makers today? All of them. What about the more recent benefit of curved shower rods in the bathrooms? Who started that? In fact, it was the Westin hotel chain, thanks to the then Westin SVP Sue Brush, who was sent a catalog photo of the rod by an employee, which she sent on to Westin CEO Barry Sternlicht. Today, most hotels' rooms offer curved shower rods. Why does this happen? It's because all the hotels' chains watch each other closely. In fact, I would venture to say all the hotel chains spend most of their marketing and brainstorming time studying the competition. Hey, Westin just introduced this thing called the Heavenly Bed. We can do that, and even better than them. We'll offer a sleep number bed. Admit it or not, your industry, whether it's B2B, business to business, or B2C, business to consumer, is like that too. Over the last 30 years, I've spoken at and consulted for organizations in 126 different industries. The variety amazes me. Manufacturing, construction, food, portable storage, website design, oil and gas, candy, healthcare, soft drink, coffee, fitness, toys, automotive aftermarket. The list is long. While most of my work is in the B2B world, I've noticed there are some common practices among all industries, regardless of whether they're B2B or B2C. As I've already pointed out, every industry practices a common strategic orthodoxy. It doesn't come by accident. It comes by heuristics. If you work in the manufacturing industry, for example, you live in a manufacturing-centric community. Many, if not most, of your friends are also in manufacturing. You spend most of your time thinking about manufacturing. You probably attend manufacturing trade shows such as the International Manufacturing Technology Show, EastTech, and maybe Hannover Messe. You read manufacturing trade magazines such as Machine Shop. Mostly, you spend your workdays surrounded by coworkers who think, eat, drink, and sleep manufacturing. You all talk about the product or service you provide the industry. You talk about suppliers, customers, and competition. It's your world. In the same way you're focused on manufacturing, others live in the candy world. They have friends and acquaintances in the candy industry. They attend the Sweet and Snacks Expo and read Candy Industry magazine. They talk about suppliers, customers, and competitors, all with similar behavior. But your worlds don't cross over much. if at all. You don't attend the Sweet and Snacks Expo, and they don't attend the International Manufacturing Technology Show. This is also true for the countless other worlds in which people live and work. So, when you or your company wants to innovate, where do you get new ideas? Not from the candy industry, that's for sure. You look within your world. It's only natural, because that's the heuristic we've developed. And that's a mistake. To be sure, you need to keep an eye on the competition. If someone else does add an improvement such as a curved shower rod, you need to bring your game up a notch too, even if it just means copying. After all, your target market will always base its minimum level of expectation on the best thing being offered in your industry. You might even be able to improve on that new feature your competition introduced. More of the same, but better, as my friend Art Turok says. However, better is temporary. Within a given industry, competitors are like a circular parade of processionary caterpillars, with the head of one caterpillar following the butt of the caterpillar directly in front. They're all following the caterpillar ahead of them for new ideas. As I said, if it can be copied, everybody will copy it. As a result, competition doesn't breed innovation. Competition breeds conformity. The bad news is this behavior is common practice. The good news is that it's pretty easy to step out of the parade. Competitive strategy can be used to create meaningful difference between you and your competition, but not if you just watch them for new ideas. Developing an uncopyable advantage requires creating a strategy with new, contrarian eyes. Looking at your industry, your competitors, and especially your customers through a different filter. Trap number 3. Price pressure. When people consider a purchase, whether of a product or a service, they weigh their perception of the different values offered to them by potential suppliers. We all instinctively know value is something more than price, but often, as suppliers, we have difficulty explaining why our value is better than their price. And that's a bad thing. When prospective customers cannot differentiate between two products on the basis of performance and quality, they look at the producing company's quality of service. If they can't tell the difference between the company's level of service, they have only one point of differentiation left: price. We don't want that to happen. We don't want to compete on price because that's a losing battle. So how do you achieve uncopyable superiority? What's the secret code so many companies struggle to break? In a word, attachment. Your customer's attachment to you. For many years, business experts, authors, and speakers have sold us on the importance of creating passionately loyal customers. We're told we've got to inspire evangelists and promoters who will proudly carry our Kool-Aid out into the world. But there's something fundamentally wrong with that perspective. It's our perspective. We, the supplier, look at this situation through our eyes. We want loyalty. We want evangelists. We want promoters. It's all well and good for us to want these things, but to make them our goal is putting the cart before the horse. Loyalty doesn't spring out of nowhere. Something important has to happen before it's inspired. People don't initially buy products or services with the intention of developing a relationship with the producer, and certainly not with the idea of becoming evangelists for the producer. Our customers must first become attached to us, professionally and personally attached. That's a tall order, but attachment is the key to everything that follows: the loyalty, the evangelism, and the promotion of what you sell by those to whom you sell it. When you create attachment, you not only best your competition, but also leave them scratching their heads and eating your dust. This book will teach you how to grab and hold the unfair advantage, how to become uncopyable.